it's been several months since we heard anything significant, anything extra, anything ongoing with the Remy Ma and Papoose issue, right? Now, I hope for Remy Ma's case, she gave up. You know what I mean? Like, and I want everybody to understand this important lesson, right? Now, Remy Ma went to jail, you know, 6 years. Papoose held her down. I'm talking about held the girl down for a whole year straight. He would visit her every single day, and these words are coming from Remy Ma herself. It's not coming from Papoose, so you know these are factual, right? Every single day, to the point where she was like, "Yo, Pap, don't come every single day." Okay, so this is factual. So he's coming every single day. It's only after a year of doing that, he even moved closer to the prison so he could visit her. You know what I mean? Now, after a year, he still kept on visiting at least 2 to 3 times a week, right? But at the end of the day, I want everybody to understand that do not take people for granted. That's one thing in this world. People take good people for granted. They don't take jerks for granted because they're jerks, but they take amazing people for granted. And what happens is it's human nature. It's human nature to get accustomed to something and you forget how amazing this something is. Yes, it's definitely human nature to do that, but there's an extreme of that. You know what I mean? The extreme of that ventures into narcissism to the point where you actually believe you deserve this special treatment. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody else was checking for Remy Ma in prison. You know what I mean? Like, no, she wasn't getting no record deals. Fat Joe, he didn't even visit her, he said. You know what I mean? He did not visit her, but Papoose was there every single day. And Remy Ma looked at him, and her narcissistic, disgusting mind said to herself, I deserve this. He should be doing this. To the point where, yo, leave. Don't come visit me, knowing he's not going to do that, right? And I'm not even going to put it on Remy Ma herself, because there had to be a willing participant, and Papoose was a willing participant. You know what I mean? He allowed himself to lower himself to the point of disrespect, and he was so like, I guess I'll say infatuation. He was so infatuated with Remy Ma for I don't know what reason, but he was so infatuated with Remy Ma that he allowed himself to be treated like a piece of scum, and he didn't even realize that. You know what I mean? And I say this once again with the utmost respect for Papoose, because most men are not built like that. You know what I mean? Most men, hey, if that happened, girl goes to jail, they'll move on to the next. They'll probably move on to the next when she's not in jail. But Papoose stayed loyal throughout those 6 years. Remy Ma came out, and when she comes out, instead of repaying the favor, she starts looking at him as if he's lesser than her. You know what I mean? Because she comes up. Pap kept her name on the street. Papoose kept Remy Ma's name on the street. You know what I mean? To the point that when she came back, she was still buzzing. You know what I mean? He was able to get different artists and all that kind of stuff. It was still buzzing. And this is when I realized that Remy Ma was setting up Papoose, that she was using Papoose. When Remy Ma came out, and she was, one of the hardest names to drop music at that time, right? It's obvious Fat Joe is going to work with her because, Fat Joe's a businessman or opportunist, whatever you want to call it. But Fat Joe's a businessman. And, hey, he invested in Remy Ma before she went to jail. So he's getting his money back. She has a buzz. She could rap. Fat Joe knows how to make hits. So they're going to put that collaboration together. But this is one thing that I realized that maybe a lot of people never realized. Papoose is a dope MC, a dope rapper. He said he wrote a ton of Remy Ma stuff, right? And I believe it. I definitely believe it, because the stuff Remy Ma was talking about and the cadence and the way she was rapping, she was not rapping like that, before she went to jail or before she met Papoose. That wasn't the case. Remy Ma was, she was dope, she was nice, but she was not as articulate, and she was not punching and all these double and triple entendres that Papoose is known for, extremely known for. But anyways, she drops an album Papoose' name is nowhere near that. You know? Like Papoose gave up his rap career. And at one point, Papoose was the hottest dude on the street. He was the hottest rapper on the block. You know, in New York, Papoose was the hottest. He was dope. But Remy Ma, with the buzz that she had, and taking in consideration, Papoose was probably writing half of that stuff, you know, allegedly. He was nowhere near on the album. Why wouldn't you record a song with your husband? The reason why is because she did not want to help him get to the point of stardom because what happens is that this is how a narcissist thinks. If I help him get to the point of stardom, other people are going to notice how good he is. And if other people notice how good he is, he's going to realize that she's a piece. He's going to realize that she ain't nothing, that she's using him, that she ain't never really done anything for him. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about Remy Ma that a lot of people don't realize. And honestly, like, I think it's a combination of bipolar mixed with narcissism. And that's like one of the worst mixes on the planet right there. You know what I mean? Because first of all, you're never going to admit anything. You're always selfish. You're always thinking about yourself. You're always just self-gratifying and self-glorifying yourself. And then on top of that, you know, the bipolar part about it is like there's extreme highs and extreme lows. And if you're a narcissist, the extreme highs is that you think you're the greatest thing on the planet. Ain't nobody could talk to you. The extreme low is like you go vigilante on anybody that surrounds you. You know what I mean? Like you literally go for people's heads with anybody around you. And once again, the narcissistic part about it still thinks it's okay to do that to people. You think Remy Ma thinks she's okay to treat people like scum, and eventually people ain't gonna get fed up. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Calissa Shields, right? Remy Ma was so arrogant that she thought, okay, well, you know, realistically, if we had to make it a buck, right? If we had to do this and be realistic, Remy Ma is more, you know, I guess in the realm of you know, urban culture, she's more appealing. She's prettier than Calissa Shields. But the thing about what women don't realize is that guys don't care about that stuff no more. Yeah, obviously they care about somebody appealing and somebody pretty, but that's only really good for one thing. But realistically, if they're going to put their name on it, if they're going to make that person the bona fide, I'm talking about wife, I'm talking about wifey, I'm talking about long-term, you know, relationship, the looks goes out the window. All they care about is respect. All they care about is respect. Who loves them for them? Who's ride and die? Ride and die, respect. Who's going to honor their man? You know what I mean? Looks is secondary, you know? So she thinks because she's better looking and maybe a better body and all that kind of stuff, that means that Papoose ain't gonna figure out that she's a jerk. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna figure out that, hey, yo, Calissa Shields loves me for me. Remy Ma's been using me, God knows, for probably over a decade. And that's what happened. Reality kicked in and Remy Ma doesn't know how to take it. You know, she doesn't know what to do. So she starts crashing out, going crazy, going spazzing out, you know, talking a whole bunch of stuff, whether it's true or not, it's really irrelevant because the truth is that Papoose does not want you back. That's the reality. Papoose doesn't want you back. And you know what? He's not going to want you back. And this is a mistake you made, Remy. Before in the past, yeah, he came back. But once you find somebody that actually loves you for you, and now you're out of that realm of that narcissistic grab, he ain't coming back. And you lost him, man. The best thing for you to do, Remy Ma, is apologize. Even if you don't want to apologize to people or apologize to Papoose, at least come to the realization that you were wrong. But once again, the narcissistic part about Remy Ma it's not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Because she's the nicest thing in the world, but she could be nice all she wants by herself. And now she crashed out in front of the world. Like, which guy is going to be stupid enough to pick that up now? Which guy's gonna see all of that? The way you treated Papoose after what he did for you, after he was the only person holding you down from day one, after he gave up his whole career, his whole life. Which guy is gonna say, yo, this is the queen I want to marry? It's not gonna happen. And don't get it twisted, Remy Ma. You know, you are pretty and you do have a hot body and all that kind of stuff, but that's all the guys want. Don't get it twisted. Just because you're getting 20 DMs, 100 DMs, 1,000 DMs every single day in your Instagram or whatever, it doesn't matter, because ain't nobody gonna wife you. And that's what matters, and that's what you really want. Even though you lie to yourself and you say, hey, you know, I don't want that, I'm just gonna be single and have fun. No, you want what you had, but it's too late. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Malik Malay, and I thank you, every single person out there, for tuning in to everything we do. You know what I mean? You're giving me a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of encouragement. And one more thing I want to add, y'all, if you guys want to go check out this clothing brand, we got Jumbo right here. We got Saint T right here as well too. Y'all check it out, saintt.ca, SAINTT.ca. Y'all could pick up this merchandise right here. Y'all could pick up the Jumbo brand. I'm talking about the hottest brand on the planet right now. You know what I mean? All the rappers are rocking it. You know, politicians are rocking it. Everyday boys are rocking it. Everyday girls are rocking it. Y'all check it out, man. We got the hottest clothing apparel on the planet. saintt.ca, SAINTT.ca. And I'm talking about the quality is dope. You will not disappoint. If you want to support me, that's how you do it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate every single person that has, you know, the thousands of hoodies or t-shirts that we have already put out there in the world, man. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love. saintt.ca. Y'all check it out. We keep on rocking this. We keep on doing this. We ain't gonna stop, and we will never stop. You know, we even got the Malachi Malay t-shirts right here. Just check out the site, saintt.ca, baby. SAINTT.ca. Malachi Malay, baby. We out. That's how we do it.